Good morning, friends. Today I am going to read you another one of my favorite stories, which I think you'll soon find out. I have a lot of books that I love to read. Spaghetti in a Hot Dog Bun. Now, the few years that I have read this story, I have actually had students tell me, hey, I've tried that before, spaghetti in a hot dog bun. Now, to tell you the truth, I have never tried it, but maybe I might have it for dinner tonight. All right, so in this story, it teaches us a very important lesson or moral, and it's having the courage to be who you are. So, after we're done reading the story, I'm going to tell you a little activity that we're going to do. But we should be proud of who we are and we should love who we are. None of us are the same. We are all different, and that's what makes us special. Thumbs up if you agree with that. 2 thumbs up for me. All right, so here we go. Spaghetti in a hot dog bun. The delicious smell of breakfast filled the air as Lucy's grandpa handed her a plate. Lucy smeared ketchup on her toast. She turned to her grandpa and said, "Papa Gino, Harriet said she's never heard of ketchup on toast. Her family uses butter and jelly." Are you a friend that eats normal things like butter and jelly on toast, or are you one of those friends that are different and adventurous and try new things? I know. I like ketchup, not just smeared on toast, but I actually like it with my grilled cheese. Now, some of you are probably thinking, ew, like Owen and Olivia. They are not adventurous with food. They do not like to try new things. It's okay. Not everyone likes the same thing, Lucy. It doesn't mean one person is right or wrong. We're all different. What a boring world it would be if we were all exactly alike. Do you remember what's really important? Papa Gino asked. I like Papa Gino. Yes, Papa. Even if we are different from others on the outside, we all have a heart with feelings on the inside. And that is something very, very important to always remember. That's right, my girl. Remember, when you treat others with love and kindness, you are going to be doing the right thing, Papa Gino replied. And that is something that I live by. Not only at school, but just in life. The golden rule, treat people the way you want to be treated. On the school bus, Lucy and her friend Harriet pulled out some paper and crayons. Sitting across from them was Ralph. As usual, Ralph sat alone. Staring out the window, he looked over at them and rolled his eyes. Can you all roll your eyes? In the classroom, Lucy sat down near the teacher. Ralph carelessly hurried over and tripped on Lucy's foot. Before long, he was glaring at her. Let me see her glare. Ralph whispered, "I can't see the book with this poodle in front of me." Lucy could hear him giggling behind her. Oh no, why did it have to be me, she wondered. Is Ralph being a very nice friend? No, he's not. During lunch, Harriet shouted out one of her silly jokes over the others' children's voices. As the girls ate, their bellies shook with laughter. Do you have a best friend like these two at school or at home or in your neighborhood? Across the table, Ralph hollered, "Yuck! That's the disgusting smell! Whoever heard of eating spaghetti in a hot dog bun?" Now, I can think of a word that describes Ralph. Can you? He is being mean, but he is also being kind of a bully. Do you agree? Tony and the other children at the table turned away from Ralph, shaking their heads. Ralph continued, "Poor little Lucy with her hair so poofy." Tears filled Lucy's eyes. She began to cry. Poor Lucy. On the way home, Lucy thought about what had happened. Maybe Ralph is mean to me because he thinks being different is bad. I wish he would stop teasing me. I do too. Slowly, Lucy stepped off the bus. "How was your day?" Papa Gino asked. "Fine," she mumbled. Papa reached over and pulled a crayon out of her hair. "How did this happen?" he asked. Lucy didn't say a word. That night, as Papa Gino tucked Lucy into bed, he asked, "Is everything all right at school?" Lucy rolled over. He sat down and whispered, "Always remember, if something's not right, we can work on fixing it together." "It's not that easy," thought Lucy. "How do I stop Ralph from teasing me? How can he have a heart and be so mean?" Lucy had a hard time falling asleep, worrying about what would happen tomorrow. Do you think she should have told Papa Gino? Me too. If anyone is ever bullying you, or if you notice somebody bullying somebody else, you should always tell somebody. A teacher, your mom, your dad, but don't just let it happen. The following day, Lucy was surprised to find Ralph leaving her alone until Lucy took the bag Ralph handed her. Inside were dog bones with a note that read, "Lucy, Lucy, eat stinky food that puts us in a big bad mood. Ugh. Lucy, Lucy, hair shaped like a cone. Here's a treat for you, a yummy dog bone." I sure hope she tells somebody now. The beating of Lucy's heart was so loud she knew everyone around her could hear it. "Stop! It hurts my feelings when you do this, Ralph," Lucy said. "Please stop." Ralph turned and walked away. Now that was the right thing to do. I hope she still tells an adult. It was recess time and Lucy played alone. She didn't want to tell her teacher about Ralph. She was afraid of being a tattletale. Lucy wished Papa Gino was there to help. What should I do? She asked herself over and over. The bell rang as recess ended. "Help!" cried a child off in the distance. Tony yelled, "Ralph got himself stuck at the top of the monkey bars. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen." Oh. Very nice. This is my chance. I'll go tell Ralph how mean he really is. M-E-A-N, mean. Lucy stomped off towards the monkey bars. Now, treat people the way you want to be treated. Remember how I talked about that golden rule? Do you think she's going to be mean to him back? Or do you think maybe she does know that golden rule and maybe she's going to help him? What do you think? When she reached Ralph, Lucy paused. She looked him in the eye and she said, "What you did was mean." Standing before Ralph, Lucy could hear her papa's words. Ralph did have a heart with feelings. So you should have made a prediction. Do you think she's going to keep being mean to him, or do you think maybe she's going to be nice to him? All right, let's see if you're right. In that moment, Lucy decided what she would do. She saw tears in Ralph's eyes. He hesitated to move and whispered, "I'm scared." Lucy reached out and said, "Here, take my hand." And she helped him down. Now stop and think. Is that what you predicted was going to happen? Did you think Lucy was going to be a good friend? Or did you think she was going to kind of be a bully just like he was? The two walked back to the classroom without saying a word. I need to look at Ralph's face here. I want you to kind of think about, how do you think he's feeling right now? Do you think he's sorry? Do you think he's going to become a nice friend to Lucy, or do you think he's still going to be a bully? That's another thing that I want you to predict and see if we're right. As the bus pulled up to Lucy's stop, Ralph reached over and handed her a picture. Lucy was amazed by what she saw. "Thanks," she muttered softly. After she got off the bus, Lucy smiled and said, "Papa, there's this boy Ralph who was really mean to me. Today, he was in trouble, and I helped him." I like Lucy. Papa Gino hugged Lucy and replied, "That took a lot of courage. It wasn't the easiest thing to do. You chose to treat others the way you want to be treated. The golden rule. I'm so proud of you, Lucy." As they walked home, she asked him what was for dinner. Can you guess? When Papa Gino said spaghetti, Lucy knew immediately what she would have for lunch the next day. Her favorite sandwich, spaghetti in a hot dog bun. The end. So I'm not sure if you've ever read that story before, but it's one of my favorites because it shows a lot of things that happen at school. And a lot of times, people do not treat people the way they want to be treated. They treat them meanly. So we saw Ralph at the beginning of the story, and he was a bully. But all because Lucy was nice to him, I think that might change how he acts and how he treats other people. I hope you liked my story.